A famous singer, her daughter, and a novelist take on American Idol. In Jennifer Weiner's latest novel, The Griffin Sisters' Greatest Hits, the best-selling author invents an unusual scenario. Two sisters in a fictional early 2000s pop duo, one bearing a notable likeliness to singer Carnie Wilson, are asked to perform with Cherry, their 18-year-old niece and daughter who is competing on an American Idol-like show. Completely by coincidence, Lola Bonfiglio, the actual 19-year-old daughter and niece of Carnie and Wendy Wilson, recently sang alongside her famous mother and aunt as a hopeful trying out on the real American Idol. The trio sang the 1990 Wilson Phillips hit Hold On, with Bonfiglio performing the part in place of third bandmate, Chynna Phillips. You start thinking that you're actually controlling reality, jokes Weiner, adding that she had no contact with any of the players involved while writing the book, which she finished last year. She learned about the coincidence from her agent. Fiction can be oddly prescient. The novelist Jules Verne predicted a moon landing in 1865's From the Earth to the Moon, more than a century before Apollo 11 made it a reality. In the 1898 novella Futility, Morgan Robertson told the story of an unsinkable ocean liner named Titan that hits an iceberg in the North Atlantic and takes down multitudes. After the actual Titanic went down in 1912, the book was renamed Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan. In early 2020, Lawrence Wright's eerily prophetic pandemic thriller, The End of October, landed in stores just as COVID-19 was wreaking havoc around the globe. Weiner, who often writes about body image, was drawn to Carnie Wilson as one of the inspirations for the singer Cassie in her novel. Wilson has openly discussed her own struggles, including with her weight, and she was at times cruelly dissected by the public. Cassie is similarly pilloried. Wilson herself recalls the scrutiny. If I scroll either on the internet or even in the magazines back in the day, and they said, Carnie Wilson, the fat chick from Wilson Phillips, I would feel it in my gut, in my heart, and it was like a stab wound, and I go, oh, that hurts. Like, it reminds me of being teased as a child, says Wilson, 56. But then, moments later, I'd be like, who cares what they think? It doesn't matter if they're me. The nature of 1990s celebrity, sisterhood, and singing competitions were on Weiner's mind as she wrote the book. After treating celebrities like they are larger than life and less than human, the author says, there's something about the next generation setting things right that she finds significant. They get called Nepo babies and laughed at and dismissed, but I do think for some of them, there's this impulse of, I want things to be better, says Weiner. Bonfiglio says she was more focused on proving herself than settling any scores, adding that singing for the American Idol judges on TV was one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life. The joint performance of Hold On made Judge Carrie Underwood mouthing the words. Then came Bonfiglio's actual audition, where she sang Casey Musgraves' Rainbow solo. The judges, who praised her voice and voted her onto the show, warned her that the competition would require more belting. Fact splits from fiction in what happened next. Online critics accused Bonfiglio of using her famous family to unfair advantage. Then she got cut with a swath of contestants. Another celebrity child fared better. Bailey Littrell, son of Backstreet Boys band member Brian Littrell, advanced. In the book, Cherry reaches the finals. She ultimately gets cut because her mom and aunt refuse to perform with her on stage. Later, they sing together in a different setting, and the long-scrutinized family begins to mend its wounds. Wilson, whose father is Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, has seen her own relatives used for tabloid fodder. She bristles at the disdain directed toward children who follow their famous parents into show business. I feel like I was born to sing, and Lola feels like she's born to sing, and I just think people are going to be so quick to judge and make these ridiculous assumptions, she says. Did Lola show what she can do? Absolutely not. Will she be able to stick with this and keep on singing and performing and writing? Yes, and so that's all I care about.